To practice using my oil pastels, I'm going to get a sheet out of my sketchbook and I'm going to label it color blending. Then I'm going to pull up the image that I plan to use for my portrait that I altered on 3D Paint. On my paper, I can create some sections using the number of colors that I have in my color scheme. My color scheme had about 4 colors, so I'm going to make 4 boxes to practice blending in. You can always do this multiple times if you don't achieve the colors you want to on the first try. After I make my boxes, I'm going to label them the colors that I plan to achieve. In my color scheme, I have a lime green, a light blue, a blue, and a navy blue. I'm going to take a look at my oil pastels and decide what colors might be best to mix together. Some colors I might not have to mix at all, depending on what I have in my color scheme. For lime green, I want it to be brighter than the oil pastel in my box. So I'm going to start with my lighter color, which is yellow, and then I'm going to add the lighter green on top. Make sure that when you're using oil pastels, you're pressing down pretty hard and applying an even amount of pressure. If you press too lightly, you're not going to have enough color to blend, and you want these colors to be nice and bold. For the light blue, I decided that the color directly from the box would work just fine, and same thing with the dark blue. When I get to navy blue, I'm going to add shading to that blue by starting with the dark blue that matches pretty closely and adding a little bit of black on top. You can always use a Kleenex to try to blend your colors further. However, I would recommend trying to blend them just by adding the darker color very lightly on top. That way your color stays nice and bold. Once you get finished practicing blending your oil pastels, I would recommend using the lightest color in your color scheme first to start adding in the colors section by section on your contour portrait. Once you start adding in the colors, you might realize that you might have to alter some of those shapes, and that's okay. Remember to keep your 3D computer screen for reference so that you can look at it as you are adding the colors to your portrait. Again, it helps to start with the lightest colors first and then work your way to dark. You may run into some areas where the 2 darkest colors are pretty similar. In that case, I would add some outlines around the shapes that you're planning to fill in so that you can remember where the color goes. For today, you're only going to add oil pastel on the skin and the hair of your portrait. The clothing and the background will be added with patterns, either with our patterned collage paper, or we may draw the patterns directly into the area, depending on the size of our background and our outfits. As you get finished, store your oil pastel in a nice dry area. You don't want to put anything on top of it because the oil pastel can easily rub off. Make sure you wash your hands and put all of your oil pastels back in the box when you're finished.